December 1980, Suffolk, England. In the depths of winter, the air carries a cold bite, and shadows linger longer than they should. Two U.S. Air Force bases, RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge, stand guard on this quiet patch of land, part of NATO's Cold War defensive network. The men stationed here are vigilant, trained to notice the smallest anomalies, the slightest disturbances. But nothing in their training could prepare them for what was about to happen. On the night of December 26th, shortly after midnight, strange lights appeared in the sky above Rendlesham Forest. At first, airmen thought it might be a downed plane, a meteor, or a reflection of distant city lights. But the phenomenon defied conventional explanation. The lights moved in ways that planes and satellites could not. Pulsing, colored red, green, blue, they descended into the forest with a calm, deliberate grace. Three men, armed with flashlights and trained skepticism, moved toward the lights. Every step through the snow-covered ground echoed in the cold air. Their breaths came in clouds. Every rustle of branches felt amplified in the silence of the forest. What they encountered was unlike anything they had seen. Between the trees hovered a metallic, triangular craft, smooth, reflective, and silent. The air itself seemed alive, charged with static electricity. Birds and animals were silent, as if the forest itself held its breath. The object slowly lifted and vanished. No sound, no trace, nothing conventional. The men returned to base, unsettled. They recounted their experience. Was it a secret military experiment, a misidentified natural phenomenon, or something far beyond human understanding? No one could say. 2 nights later, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt led a team into the forest, tape recorder in hand, determined to document the phenomenon firsthand. For over an hour, Halt captured unusual lights moving through the trees, beams of light descending onto the forest floor, and unexpected radiation readings at the landing site. One of the officers described a red orb moving with intention, breaking into fragments, then reassembling in midair. Another said the glow illuminated the entire forest, as if an artificial sun had appeared. Halt filed an official report, later known as the Halt Memo, submitted directly to the Ministry of Defense. The memo described a triangular craft, indentations in the ground, and radiation levels higher than normal background readings. Yet when journalists asked for confirmation, both the US and UK governments offered a simple explanation. The lights were nothing more than a nearby lighthouse. A lighthouse cannot hover in the trees. It cannot move with apparent intelligence. It cannot split and recombine mid-air, and it certainly cannot account for radiation anomalies. The men who observed this were experienced. They had been trained to recognize aircraft, natural phenomena, and even classified military tests. They were not easily fooled. And yet, none could explain what they had seen. Over the decades, Rendlesham Forest grew into legend. Stories of mysterious lights, missing files, and secret investigations spread. Eyewitnesses claimed they were visited afterward, cautioned not to talk. Photographs were taken and never returned. The event divided opinion. Skeptics insisted the airmen had misinterpreted stars, meteors, or a lighthouse beam. Believers argued that trained personnel, familiar with technology and observation, would not mistake ordinary lights for something extraordinary. And so, the debate continues. For those who were there, the memory of that night is indelible. The cold, the strange luminescence, the silence that felt heavy and unnatural. Halt described the forest as having a presence that defied normal explanation. The lights seemed deliberate. The craft, if that is what it was, reacted to human attention. Some suggested it could have been secret military technology, an experiment hidden from the public. Others whispered of extraterrestrial visitors, glimpses of a reality beyond human comprehension. No photographs, no radar confirmation, no solid evidence, just testimony. And a tape recording that captured the eerie, static-laced voices of those who approached the unknown night after night. The story deepened. Observers reported lights in different locations, sometimes hovering, sometimes moving like intelligent entities. Radiation readings continued to baffle scientists and investigators alike. The forest, quiet for centuries, had become a stage for events that would challenge belief, documentation, and memory itself. For 40 years, Rendlesham Forest has remained a place of mystery. No definitive proof exists. No evidence conclusively explains the events, only the testimony of disciplined, trained personnel and the occasional pulse of light in the trees. We are left to wonder, what did they see? Was it a top-secret aircraft tested in the dead of night? A misperceived natural phenomenon? Or a moment when the veil between the known and unknown was lifted, however briefly? Whatever it was, it left a lasting impression on those who experienced it firsthand. A night that still inspires curiosity, debate, and awe. Rendlesham Forest remains a symbol, a place where the ordinary world brushed against something extraordinary, a mystery that refuses to be fully explained. And perhaps that is exactly why it endures. Colonel Halt once said, "This was no hoax. We saw something, and the governments know more than they are saying." Maybe he is right. Maybe the forest holds secrets that humanity is not ready to understand. Rendlesham Forest waits silently, and for those willing to look and listen, the lights may still be there, flickering at the edges of perception, challenging what we think we know about the world. The Rendlesham Forest Incident, the truth remains unclassified to this day.